Hello, welcome back to the James Rambling Reviews for yet another episode. In today's episode, I've actually got something very interesting for you, and something that you probably were not even expecting, because I never really dabbled too deeply into the genre of Indian cinema, and that is because today's video we're going to be talking about this movie called The Greatest of All Time. And so before I get into how I feel about this film, I'm not going to give away anything about how I feel about this movie, because I want to surprise you and I want to really show to you whether or not I actually think I'm sold on Indian cinema or not. So there's that. So just to give you a bit of context, right, I remember watching a couple Bollywood Indian cinema movies, whatever you call them, right? And I was like, I watched Raw, Rise of All, whatever, in this Indian sci-fi movie, and yes, there was things that I did enjoy about both, and then the last Indian movie I watched just did not work for me, and it was setting up, it was going somewhere interesting, and then it completely fumbled the bag and was just horrible, and it was just, it was just weird, and I just couldn't get into it. And so there's definitely that, and so I'll give you a rating out of 10, stuff like that, later on in this video. But I'll actually give you a bit about the plot, but I will not give away everything, because obviously this movie just came out recently on Netflix, and unlike crap like The Boy and the Heron, I really don't want to spoil it, because let me just get this straight, right. I actually think that this is the best Indian movie I've seen in my life, and this sounds like an exaggeration and everything like that. So I will say that, right, but then, okay, so this movie, what you have in store is this guy who is pretty much meant to be this great action hero who can do it all, get the girl, get everything he wants at the end of the day, kind of thing, and that is pretty much what this movie is about. So I did say that I actually think I enjoyed this movie, and yes, this is what I have been dying for in an Indian movie, because it has everything that I wanted and a little bit more, I'm gonna be honest, because this movie feels like a B movie that has Jason Statham, but it has elements of John Wick, elements of Mission Impossible, and I'm absolutely hooked for the ride, and I cannot get off of this whole experience. I really didn't want this movie to end. Yes, it was 3 hours long, but I'm gonna be honest, like, this movie flies in, and yeah, there are points where they have to slow down the plot, slow down the craziness to break into dance and song, but that is literally what these type of movies are, right? They're all about dancing and singing. And on that element alone, I think this is probably some of the best sounding Indian music I've heard in a Bollywood movie, because the main actor really puts his heart and soul into the songs, and he has a lot of fun with it. And that is another thing about this movie, is that the main actor, his name is Vijay, and how you spell that is Vijay, Vijay, right? He's the main star of this, and he is pretty much so awesome. But what is so cool about this movie is that it hooks you on this idea that he's the greatest of all time, and you get to see his character flaws and his character arc as the movie progresses, and the more the movie goes on, the more it gets crazier, the more insane it gets and stuff like that, and it feels like at times, it's like 3 or 4 movies inside of this one film, but then it all pays off in the end. And wow, does it pay off in the end, because wow, the final act is awesome and fun and insane. And so I absolutely love this movie, and I actually think that it is a solid 8 or 9 out of 10. I absolutely recommend you go and watch this movie. If you haven't watched this movie already, I actually feel bad for you, because I absolutely think that this is just awesome stuff. And so yeah, we've covered all the bases, right? Epic action, awesome, like singing and dancing and stuff like that. However, I just forgot to mention this, that there are a few points where the budget isn't some big, expensive looking thing where you look at the visuals and it just changes your life, and it looks so pretty and so stunning and so epic, right? Because it's kind of low budget and just kind of like standard looking. And then there's even this one point where there's this like bit of CGI that isn't the most perfect looking, but I'll take it over some horrible CGI or just crap you've seen in American movies and just stuff like that. I'll take it over that. I'll take the CGI over that any day, because it was only just a couple scenes, so the special effects didn't bother me too much, and the budget didn't bother me too much. And there are times where the action is just kind of simple. It's nothing groundbreaking, but that is what works so well about it. It's just simple, even though you have a crazy plot that kind of doesn't make any sense, and then later on it actually does make a lot of sense. And yeah, that's it. So hope you enjoyed this review. Just want to give you a quick fire, absolute awesome recommendation for the movie called The Greatest of All Time. And the movie actually lives up to the title, because it absolutely is the greatest of all time. Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration. It's not the greatest movie ever made, but it certainly is a great film. So yeah, bye.